Hey guys, just want to do a quick little stretching video with you today because I know after our sessions a lot of the time when you've done training even on your own throughout the week, a lot of the time we may feel that fatigue state at the end of the day or at the end of the week, especially after a long week of training. So what I want to do was just a quick 15-minute stretch that you can do on your own at the end of each day, maybe whilst you're relaxing in the evening once you finished your work or after training. It's a great way to keep your overall muscularity and good flexibility. It's a great way to improve your range of movement, to improve your overall positioning of things like squats or push-ups. And again, it's going to help your flexibility overall and it's going to help your recovery. So guys, one of the easiest things you can do is you can start from the top of the body and go all the way down. We're going to hit the major stretches. They're going to be really functional, and we're going to hit most of the major muscle groups that we use throughout training. Okay, so I always like to start with the head. Again, loosen off the traps. So the first one we're going to do is just bring that chin down, and we're just going to roll that head. You could do this in the evening, like say if you're watching TV or something, or just before you go to bed. It's going to just loosen up that body a little bit. Once you've rolled side to side, keeping that chin down, rolling side to side, that ear going close to the shoulder and back. Once you've done that 5 times each side, you can then go for a little bit of a stretch. So we just grab our hand on top of the head. I'm just going to pull down one side. You feel that stretch all across the traps here. And then I'm going to push my hand right the way down. Try and hold this one for 15 to 25 seconds. Most of these you could hold up to 30 seconds plus, but 15, 25 should be enough just to keep you ticking over. Especially if you do it most nights, you're going to be in a lot better condition. You won't need to do it as long. If you were thinking of doing it a couple of times a week, I'd recommend doing it maybe on a Sunday or something like that if you've got a little bit more time. And then we're going to just switch. So I'm just going to pull down first on my head and then pushing down with the arms. Stretch it out all the way. You really want to try and push it a little bit. Obviously, if you do feel any pain, just stop what you're doing. Just lessen off the stress, and then bring it back nice and slow to an area where you're comfortable. So pushing down my shoulder. And once I've done that stretch, I'm just going to loosen up the shoulders. Easy one, like I said, that you can do at night, but especially a lot of you that are training after Lean 60 sessions, we're training twice in that day. If we don't get a very long stretch, like you say, your body can tighten up and it can lead to tighter muscles, your recovery not being as effective and as efficient as it can be. So just loosening up that chest a little bit. You'll recognize a lot of these from workouts that we've done in the past. And if we can, just up and down. So we're doing a little bit of a dynamic one at the moment, just to try and get that blood moving. And then we're going to go into some static stretches. So we're going to go first static stretch, a little bit of the tricep. So we're just going to hold this, one arm across, and bring the other arm up, and I'm pulling in nice and tight. And if I can, I'm going to tense this fist, really tense it. Bring it in right close to the body, and I'm going to feel a nice tricep stretch. Also really good for the shoulder, and also really nice for the lats back here. It's pulling my shoulder right the way around. Stretching out the rhomboids as well on this one. And then switch sides. Again, this could be a good one if you've been sitting down most of the day, if you've been doing work or you've been leaning over something most of the day. A lot of us use laptops in the day, or even if you've been traveling, not on the tube or whatever it may be, maybe driving to work. This is just a nice little stretch just to loosen up those shoulders. Alright, after you've done that one, we're going to get a little chest expansion. So bringing back the shoulders. Again, we do this one quite often, but you're going to try and bring that arm up as high as you can. So as high as I can, and then I'm going to breathe in and push that chest out forward and that head out. I'm trying to feel that stretch all over my chest and arms. I feel it a little bit in my biceps. I'm pushing that chest out. Trying to hold it there as high as I can. If I relax here, I'm not going to feel it as much as here. Okay? So maintaining that position, holding there. Once you've done a few seconds, loosen up those shoulders again. So what we can do is we can start to loosen up the core a little bit. So we can start to go side to side, nice and easy. Again, You don't want to go too fast with this one. Most people do have very stiff lower backs, especially if you've been sitting down all day. So just side to side, just to loosen them up. Take it nice and easy. And once you've done about 20 seconds or so of that, we're just going to get a big, strong stretch. So we're going to go as far as we can, hold that position. I'm going to drop my shoulder and try and look as far behind as I can, holding that position. Squeeze, really start to push it, try and hold it. Once you've held it for about 20 seconds, 25 seconds, you're then going to slowly bring it back to the other side. Holding that position, drop that shoulder, head back. From the other way, I'm bringing that body round and I'm twisting. I'm holding on with one hand and I'm twisting that body to get those extra few inches. Here's okay. If I can, I'm going to push with that hand, push that shoulder back. Now I can feel a nice stretch in my shoulder, my deltoid here. And then I'm also getting a nice stretch on the obliques and the lower back. Next one we're going to do, so we're just going to get a very, very simple one, working on the lower back. So we're just going to go all the way down. And again, you can start to hunch this one. You can fold the spine right the way over and you're reaching down. If you can only get to your knees, just go there initially. And if you can go deeper, you're going to keep those hands going down the legs as far as you can go. If you can go to your toes, that's great. If you can go deeper, perfect. For those of you that can go deeper and your hands are touching and your knuckles are touching, grab the back of your legs, make sure they are straight. If your legs are bent like this and you're touching the floor, try and straighten out the legs as best we can, then touch the floor. Bring those hands right to the back of the calves and then bring that head right underneath. You're going to try and pull with your arms, bringing that head underneath, keeping your body as straight as possible. You're going to feel a really nice stretch all across the hamstrings here, back and the knees. Again, those hamstrings are used a lot when we do leg workouts, so really stretch that position. Head down, hold there for a good 20 to 30 seconds this one. Slowly come up, bend those legs. I'm going to go nice and wide because the legs are big muscles and we are on them every day. Just going to get an inner groin stretch. So as you go into this one, lean first of all, then bring that hand over. We're not putting our weight on there, we're just resting our hands there a little bit. If not, bring the hands there and hold that position. We want to feel that nice stretch on the inside, both toes pointing forwards. Hold that position. A few seconds, just breathing. Will be quite tight. If you want to push it, try and go deeper. Sink that bum even more. What we don't want to do is just get to this position and then bring our head over. That's not stretching out the leg. We've got to really go deep and lower the whole bum and keep that head up. So the back is nice and straight. If I bring that head down, obviously it feels like we're going deeper because our head's going down, but really my position hasn't changed on the legs. Switch to the other side. So we're just going to go other side, hold that stretch. Nice and easy to begin with. Breathe through this one. Few seconds. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to sink, deep breath, sink out, go deeper. Now I start to really feel it on my pain threshold, 10 being the worst, 1 being the easiest. Maybe I'm about 7 or so right now. So I'd probably keep it about at 7 and then slowly up. You'd never want to really push it to 10, maybe 9 at a max, but 10 is maybe a little too much unless you're really experienced. Next one, team, we're just going to get a little calf one. So just going to put one ankle in front, keep that toe pointing up, and then lean those hips back. I can already start to feel it on my hamstring, and then I'm going to pull those toes right the way back. I've got a lovely calf stretch now. Again, stretching out the bottom of my feet. Feet, they don't get so much attention as the rest of the body, so it is always good just to get a nice little stretch for the bottom of the feet. I may have said once before, if you've got a ball, a nice little roll around on the floor with your feet is a great way to end the day as well. It relieves a lot of stress in the rear chain of the body. So if you can do that, even if you're in a long driving trip somewhere, maybe you're on the train, if you have a little ball, you can do it for 5 minutes, and then slowly up. I'm going to switch sides. So make sure you get that leg out first of all. Bring those hips back, so weight's over the back foot, then leaning forward. If you can't touch the toe, that's fine, just hold on to here. We want to make sure we lean back, keep those toes pointing up. And then if you can, lean forward, bring that head down. Hit as low as you can, last few seconds. And then you're going to slowly come up. Take your time. Now again, we do this one quite often. Big muscles that we use a lot, the quadriceps. So we're going to stretch out one leg, hold on, squeeze them right the way back. Just start with an easy stretch to begin with. If you're holding that position, you don't really feel too much. What you may see is that my knee is further forward than my other knee. So I'm going to try and bring that knee back. I've got a little hip flexor stretch just here as well. And I'm going to try and squeeze as far back as I can. Now I've got a nice quadricep stretch. I'm really starting to feel it. Bringing that knee as far back as I can. Holding on to it. If you do struggle, obviously hold on to something else. If not, if you're quite good at balancing, hold on to that foot with both hands. Pull right the way back and really hold that stretch. The quadriceps, they're a big muscle and they're predominantly used in most of our exercises that we do. So if you are feeling tired, a nice quad stretch can just kind of reinvigorate you sometimes. And then slowly switch to the other side. So again, we're starting that position, bringing that one leg up, holding there initially. And once we feel more comfortable, bringing that leg right the way back, holding there, squeezing that knee back. And I want to feel a nice stretch here. On the pain threshold, I'm about maybe a 6 on this one. For me, I do a lot of stretching, so I would go for a different quad stretch that I'm going to show you in a minute. So if you're quite flexible, we'll try this one. If you're quite flexible, going down to the floor, you're going to come into a kneeling position. You're going to bring those hips up now, bring those shoulders back, hold onto the floor, and we're just going to drive those hips up. So we're going to push them up, and then slowly work your arms back and bring those shoulders back. We can feel a really nice quadricep stretch here. I'm using the floor as basically a bit of a barrier, so I can't push my legs any further. And because gravity's helping me come down, I can get a really nice stretch. So holding this position, if you do have tight quads, probably hold this one for maybe, I'd say in the 45 seconds. If you do start to cramp, as I know some of you do, just come back out of it, loosen up, and then come back into it. Okay. So holding this one a little bit longer than the others, up to 45 seconds, stretch those out. If you want to push it a little bit more, drive those hips up. You're going to feel a nice big stretch on those hips as well as the hip flexor. You're going to feel the bum engage a little bit as well, and then slowly down. Now the last ones that we can do is we're just going to hold those feet in front. I'm going to keep my body as straight as I can, and then I'm going to lean forward all the way down. This is a really good lower back one, and then I'm just going to try and grab my ankles or the calves. If you can't, just try and grab behind the knees. And you're going to go all the way down, hold that stretch, and you're just going to hold this one for 45 seconds plus. This may be quite a tough one for a lot of you, but stretching out that lower back, I know a lot of us are quite tight there. Stretching out that lower back is really going to help stretch out the glutes, it's going to stretch out the top of the spine. It's going to alleviate a lot of problems that we have from sitting down often. So if you've got tight calves, we're hitting that whole rear chain right now, up to here. So if you've got a lot of rear chain problems, tight calves, tight joints, or you struggle with squatting, start with this one. Bring that head all the way down, bring those toes forward and drive that head down. Try and hold it. You want to be on that pain threshold of about 7 to 8 on this one. You want to be holding that 7 to 8. So you definitely want to feel it. Driving that head down for the last few seconds, and then we slowly come up. The one we're going to do today is for the glutes. So a lot of time we use this one. You can do a standing one, which is going to be bringing those hips down to the floor. I'm going to put my ankle over this knee here. If you want to hold on to something, you can. If not, you're going to sink down and you're going to hold that balance. If not, you can hold there. You can hold the floor. I'm bringing that bum as low as I can, and I can really start to feel it on my hip here, this hip joint, also right on the bum, my piriformis, which is a very, very tight muscle, gets very, very tight when we do a lot of sitting. So I can sink even further, hold that position, and then I'm going to switch, okay? If you do struggle with that one, just try and hold onto maybe a pole, or maybe if there's a coffee table around, hold onto that. So I'm going to bring that ankle there. I'm going to hold this one. This one for me is a little bit tight, so I'm going to try and sink deeper. I'm going to hold on to something so I can sink. And I'm trying to feel that stretch. For most people, this is going to be a little bit more uncomfortable, so I'd hold this stretch for 35 to 40 seconds. Just try and hold this one a little bit longer. Again, the glutes, they're a big, big muscle, so it's important to stretch them out. Slowly up. If you didn't want to do that one, you can do the one where we lay on the floor, get in a push-up position. We bring one leg forward, and then we're pushing those hips down, right the way down. Trying to bring my hip to the ankle that's on the floor, the heel that's on the floor, and I'm just keeping that body upright, breathing nice and steady. On that out breath, trying to go a little deeper. There you go. I can really start to feel my glutes right now, really stretching hard. And I'm going to slowly switch, so from at the front, bringing those hips right the way up. Bring that hip right towards the heel, bringing that head up, and I'm pushing my head back. I'm forcing my hips down. I'm going to get a really nice hip flexor stretch again. The more you can get into this position, the better you find that your squat's going to be, the better you find that your recruitment of the quadriceps and the squats are going to be, especially in classes when we do a lot of squat workouts. Those of you that start to struggle, or the quads aren't as well developed, you'll see that your body starts to use more of the joint rather than the actual muscle. When the muscle starts to get fatigued, the body still works out a way to do it, and it starts using the joint to do it, and that's where our technique goes off a little bit. So the more you can stretch, the greater flexibility you have, the overall better performance you're going to have, more recruitment of muscle you're going to have. So you'll probably see your gains or your performance as well as your progress a lot quicker. Once you've done this one, team, you can go up to the last little one. We're going to shake out the legs a little bit. That's an important one, so you could do that one for 45 seconds plus. I sometimes do it for a little bit longer. I sometimes do it for a minute and a half one side, a minute and a half the other. Then I go back to this one, because for me, these are the tightest areas in my body. I might do a lot of squatting in the week, or showing a lot of people squatting. So I do these quite often after a day at work. I'll stretch these out quite often. Last one, we're going to stretch out the ankle. So I'm just going to put that ankle on the floor and improve its mobility. Okay, I'm just going to make a little circle. You can see I'm just making a little circle. Getting that ankle from every direction. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to push down to one side, put a little bit of pressure on. I start to feel maybe a little bit of clicking. Just a light little bit of pressure. Should feel a nice stretch on the front. And then the other side. So I'm going to push it out the other side. Try and do maybe 10 seconds each one of these. And then the other one. So I'm just going to get a nice little circle. I'd recommend, guys, if you are doing this, do it on a carpet with your socks on. Try not to do it with shoes. Shoes are going to be okay, but you get much greater range of movement with just your socks or just barefoot. And then just pushing down one side, stretch it out really hard. Getting that pain threshold for this one, we can get to that 7 or 8 area. And then we're going to just switch the other side. And shake them out. Once you've done that, team, just loosen up the shoulders. Shake them out. Again, if you've got more specific areas, so if you've hit a lot of back, you can do a stretch where we're going forwards and we're just holding that position. We're bringing the arms out wide and we're stretching forwards. So again, if you've hit a lot of back that day and you want to stretch it out, that's always a nice one. Bring the shoulders forward, really hunched over. If you get a lot of joint pain in your wrist, maybe you're using your wrist for work, again, I'd always recommend a couple of wrist stretches, which are just arm out nice and straight, bringing those hands in forward, and then we're slowly squeezing them back. You're going to feel really nice forearm stretch. If you're doing a lot of pull-ups or lat pull-down work, doing a forearm stretch is going to be really nice. Any gripping, anything where you're gripping a lot is going to be great. This one's going to be nice. So once you've done that one for about 15-20 seconds, you're going to switch, grab those fingers, keep that arm straight, and then get the other side. This is going to feel really nice, especially around that joint. Once you've done this a couple of times, shake them out, loosen them up. Looks a bit weird. Then we get the other side. So just hold that one. After you've done each side of these, you'll be pretty much ready to go. Just switch each side. That's it. And shake them out. So hopefully guys, that's a little bit of a stretch that you could do a couple of times a week. You could do it every night. You could follow this video again and again and again, just until you've got it in your head what you have to do. You've hit most of the major body parts there, and especially even right now, just after that little stretch, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling more flexible, I'm feeling loose. I don't feel so tired anymore because I've got the blood moving, got the blood pumping. If you were to do this a couple of times a week, you're probably going to see some quite big changes in your overall performance, and you'll really see changes in your overall flexibility. So a little challenge, try this a couple of times a week. If you want to, try it every day, and you'll see the big differences in your overall training and overall flexibility. Alright guys, hopefully that helped, and I'll see you next time.